we have to get comfortable talking about the uncomfortable. You'll understand more. So keep it here. Hi, welcome to JOA. If you're new to my channel, please click subscribe and click that bell button, baby. Click subscribe and click that bell button, baby, so you will be the first to know when I upload. I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe and click the bell. Today's icebreaker question is, how do you currently feel during this whole pandemic notion that is going on here? If you're new to my channel, I post daily videos every single day, so get used to this beautiful face. I appreciate it if you do like this video, give me a thumbs up. Also, consider following me on my Instagram page. I'm starting to try to be active on that. It's JOA_media. If you are a business, if you have a business and you are interested in advertising on my channel, please do email me at joamedia1@gmail.com. That's joamedia1@gmail.com. I want you guys to watch this clip. I have several clips that I'm going to be playing during my commentary. So I want you guys to watch the full video, and I'm going to come back with some more. So I think we just found a Meghan McCain 2.0. Piers Morgan can dish it, but he can't take it. When it comes to somebody else telling him how he is as a person, then, you know, he wants to walk off, or he wants to brush them off, or just try to stay quiet, or try to overtalk them like he tried to do with that Black Queen doctor yesterday, baby, but she was not having it. So Piers Morgan always just reminded me of as a mean, bitter person. The man has RBS, resting bitch face. I mean, and I have it too, which is why I always try to fix my face all the time. But he just always seemed bitter, whether it's on America's Got Talent or Britain's Got Talent. When I used to watch YouTube clips on YouTube, it could be the most talented person on earth. This man will not stand up. He won't clap. He doesn't support the talent at all whatsoever. Something or someone has definitely hurt him to really the heart. And I personally did not know that Meghan Markle DM'd him years ago on Twitter before she was this huge star, when she was on Suits, and she said she was a fan. And so ever since then, apparently she ghosted him, and he talks about this on his talk show in 2015. And I want you guys to watch this clip, and I'll come back with some more.
I followed 4 of the stars of Suits on Twitter. Yeah. Within 5 minutes, I got this direct message from Meghan Markle.
A private message, obviously.
Yeah. And it said, "Hey, I'm a big fan, and so excited you're following me." And this is
said to you.
This was about 3 years ago. And I replied, and then another guy in Suits who plays another character, he got involved too, and we corresponded quite regularly on Twitter, publicly and privately. She began sending me early copies of Suits episodes.
Right.
She'd email me from places like Rwanda. I thought we had a good sort of friendship building. She then said, "I'm coming to London to watch the tennis with Serena Williams," who's her friend, and I know Serena well too. And she said, "Would you like to meet up for a drink?" I said, "Come to my local pub. I'm an Irishman. Come to my pub." So she came to my local pub in Kensington, ironically about half a mile from Kensington Palace, where she now lives. Nobody knew who she was, but she walked in. I remember the locals, right? All these old guys like this, drinking their pints, and in walks Meghan Markle like $1 million. But they didn't know who she was, but they thought she's something special. Yeah. We had 2 hours in the pub. She had a couple of dirty martinis, had a couple of pints. We got on brilliantly. And then I put her in a cab, and it turned out to be a cab that took her to a party where she met Prince Harry. And then the next night, they had a solo dinner together, and that was the last I ever heard from Meghan Markle. And I have never heard from her again.
So what happened?
She ghosted me, Ryan. Meghan Markle ghosted me.
Did she? Do you think she just went gone?
I'm afraid. Look, I really liked her. This is why it hurts. No, I really liked her. I just think she's a slight social climber, I'm afraid. And when I see the way, look, at her wedding, there was only one member of her family there. The rest couldn't be risked. They was considered too dangerous.
But do you think she was told, Morgan, off the list?
Well, I can imagine her having dinner with Prince Harry and say, "Oh, I know this great English guy," Irish as it turns out. Yeah. "I know this great guy, and he's a good friend of mine. I've just been in the pub with him."
What's
Harry's
his name?
like, "Oh, really? Who's that?" It's Piers Morgan. What?
Yeah.
Get him out of here.
Black pen.
Yeah. So that, but I didn't really like being ghosted like that. I thought it was a bit of a strange thing to do. And then the other guy, I won't name him, but there's another actor in Suits, and he did the same. I didn't hear from him either. So he'd been shut down, and then he popped up after the wedding, which he was at. I saw him on TV, and I thought, really? Not a word from either of you. And then he pops up apologising and saying, I'm so sorry and hope you understand. Well, I didn't understand that.
Had he been told not to be in touch with you?
He'd been told to ghost me as well.
So after his yesterday's comments on Good Morning Britain, he had a job on TV. He left CNN a while back. I think they fired him or something. He did something wrong. So he's on his Good Morning Britain. And after today, he just stormed off the set after that African-American host basically, that black man, I'm assuming he's mixed, but the black guy, the person of color person, Mr. Alex, I'm sorry, told Piers Morgan that, yesterday's program was hard to watch. And so he actually quit because he received highly, 41,000 people complained to the network about his comments about him just not believing Meghan Markle. And he even said he won't even believe Meghan Markle's words if she even read a weather report. And look, so yeah, okay, she ghosted you in 2015, but the fact that you are still bitter about that 6 years later, to me, is really kind of creepy. You are 16 years older than her at the moment. She's 39 and you are in your mid 50s. So that's kind of creepy. And so I just want Piers Morgan to know, and I'm sure he does know, that when you are not really a known person and you get followed by someone like Piers Morgan, who is unfortunately widely known in the TV sphere, most people would feel excited about that a celebrity that they've seen on television, that they watched on television growing up as a little girl, shade, or, as a little boy, and they get a follow on social media, they get acknowledged by them. Of course, they're going to say they're a fan. Of course, they're just going to say X, Y, and Z and, butter you up and say, hey, I'm a fan. Thanks for following me, like Meghan Markle did in his DMs. So I personally really don't know Meghan Markle's story per se. I know she grew up in a dysfunctional family. I actually won't be surprised if she is a celebrity culture vulture hopper. It's Hollywood. I wouldn't be surprised if she dated Harry because he's a prince. So this is something that she signed up for. This is something Meghan Markle signed up for. And I'm sure, just because you are biracial and you have that white side in you, that doesn't mean that the black side of you is not going to occur in terms of, being through prejudice moments, racial moments with the family that you're in now. So it's something you signed up for, girl. And I just find it creepy, literally creepy, that Piers Morgan till this day is bitter about it. And he obviously loves black women. I remember when he did an interview with Beyonce and he was literally like a gentleman. He was flirtatious and everything. But Beyonce is about the same age as Meghan Markle as well. And she really don't like the man like that at all. And so I also wanted to showcase that clip of the man saying that you have to be comfortable with talking about the uncomfortable moments, because if these white people in a royal family, if white people in general are comfortable with being racist, but yet they feel uncomfortable talking about it, then why the hell are you comfortable with being a racist? So I had to turn the camera back on because I wanted to add more commentary towards Mr. Alex, the person of color, the guy I was speaking about, the situation about him not calling out moments when racial ambiguities happen towards him, because I personally been in that situation recently. At the summer of 2019, I personally was hurt by somebody who was under the influence. They pressure washed my hand. They were this close to my hand and they pressure washed it. It's this scar on my hand. And it got to the point where the following day, as I got up from the ground, my left hand just was reeking of nerves. And so I presented this situation 6 days later to the owner of the business I was working for. And this is a job that I left, by the way, July 7, 2020. And he had a moment to where we had a discussion where I worked previously before I got this job. And his face got red and he was shocked that I worked for a company. It's a restaurant company. I'm going to go ahead and say it. It's Sonic. This man owns several Sonics, maybe like 20 to 30 Sonics, and he's like a multimillionaire. And it's white owned. It's in the country, the headquarters. So I mean, if that catches your drift of what I'm trying to say, you should understand. And so the owner was like, "You work there at that location?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And his face got red. And mind you, this is the time, this is the moment him and I were talking about my injury at his job on his grounds that he can be potentially sued for. And yet you're having this racial moment about my previous work history because the owner is a white man and I work there. This job isn't some kind of big job anyway. It's a fast food job that people also were former drug addicts that I worked for. And one of the district managers hired at their previous job was a pedo, and they had a lawsuit pinned on their ASS that was that they settled for over like $4 million. So. And, you know, I at that moment that I had in his office when I was explaining him to my injury and what occurred, that it wasn't reported because the manager under an influence that did this to me did not report it. He had the audacity to struck the nerve of having his disease in his mind of being a racist about my past work history. And till this day, that vision of his face and how it got red like a freaking like orange apple, like his face really got red. It's still in my mind till this day, and I find it to be really shameful. So I can relate to the guy that said he didn't call it out, because that at that moment I didn't call it out, but at that moment I knew I should no longer be there. But I also knew going into that job that it was expected to be there as well. And I still have problems with it. You know, on and off moments, I have tension. I'm still dealing with the doctors, and I'm still dealing with, oh, yes, I didn't sue, but I got workers' comp. I'm still dealing with that. And, you know, soon I'm going to get another appointment. But, you know, this is why I'm always going to vouch for my Black brothers and Black sisters, my person of color brothers and person of color sisters, and not try to shy away about their moments and try to ignore people's moments of dealing with racial moments and racial tensions and racial experiences that people have in job situations and baking situations and doctor situations. A woman having a baby and being told that don't give her enough anesthesia because she has too many kids. Yes, I've heard that before with someone with a person associated of mine telling me that story. So it's crazy. It's just crazy that we just live in a world where people are just feeling uncomfortable because we don't look like them, and we are still seen inferior to society based on the color of our skin rather than the judgment of our own character. And I just think it needs to stop. Racist. Like, why? I mean, you can't have it one way. There needs to be both ways. If you are comfortable of committing a racial act or saying something racist, you should be comfortable with someone of color or a Black person talking about it. That's just how it is. You know, it's give and take. It's not just give and not take. No, like if you can dish it, you got to take it. And so Piers Morgan has no backbone. He's a sissy. He's like a catty woman. And he storms off the set because he got told by that Black man, by that Black host. And I'm glad he's no longer on that show. And so, of course, he did post something on Twitter to the effect of his former manager would have agreed with what he's doing in terms of resigning from Good Morning Britain. I'm sure they were going to fire him, but he's trying to save face by quitting. You know, look, it is what it is. Piers, get over it. The girl is married. She don't like you anymore. She ghosted you. That's just how humans are in general. I understand how you feel, but that doesn't justify the fact of your comments that you said defending the royal family when this girl, went through what she went through due to the color of her skin. You know, just because she ghosted you, that doesn't mean you should be biased about situations that have occurred to her. And so he did justify also his comments that he believes in mental illness and depression, and the person that told Meghan Markle that she should just suck it up. I'm just paraphrasing here and just deal with her depression should be fired. So he did say that on Good Morning Britain, and he's just no longer on the show anymore. So anyways, let me know what you think in the comments below. I don't know if I reported this right, but I'm just saying that Give and take, give and take. Please do subscribe and click the bell so you'll be the first to know when I upload. Deuces. Yay.